to realize I'm back on your sofa. Course I still can. When it's shared. Mm. Love is never wasted when it's shared. From the words of, I think Olivia Dean wrote those. So, welcome to Kiki's House of Joy, where joy is built with intention, grit, and a lot of love. And so, since we are in the season of love, not commercially, everyone, but since we're in the season of love, let's get in here. Let's start talking about the Best Week Ever series, Kiki's Best Week Ever. Before I begin, I just want to say hello to everyone. Welcome in. If you are doing anything, buckle in. This was a week and it's a really good week, but I have a lot to share with you all. So please enjoy yourself. I mean, we had the Benito Bowl, we had Valentine's Day. I mean, we just had a lot going on. And so it meant that I did quite a lot and I have to tell you all about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need to write something else down. Hold on. I have my little list here. I need to add in that dance. Yakari. Yeah, gotta add that dance there. Oh, because that was so good. Okay, there we go. Ooh, can't forget. So if this is your first time on this channel, what's going on? I'm on week 7 of the best week ever. What's up, Cypher? Yes. Oh, we're still in good and happy Sunday to you. I'm so glad. I'm so happy that you're here. And let's do this. So happy to be in the place. You want to know? So based on what you wrote, I'm going to tell you what it sounds like in French, which is very exciting. Here we go. Bon dimanche, professeur. Quel plaisir d'être de retour dans celui de joie. So happy to be in the house of joy, this place of joy. All right, okay. I was watching the video. I'm like, I won't get so distracted with the French. I promise. I promise. At least I'll try not to. But it was just so excited. But I do, for those of you guys who are wondering, I keep my phone in French because I'm learning French. And that means all of your chats come on in French. And so I will put the video on this one just in case you say a word that I don't know. So I actually know what you're saying. So let me thank you for reminding me to do that. But it's amazing. It's like this wonderful, fun journey that I get to take and just doing all the things that I love all at once. It's like, I mean, geez Louise, life is good, right? Okay. I think I've lowered my sound down. Perfect. Okay, we're good. We are good. All right, so let's I got to figure out where to begin. One, just welcome in. I hope that you've had a really, really, really wonderful week. And I hope you're ready to hear about mine. Best week ever for the best year ever, 2026, week 7. Last week I was wrong. I said it was week 5. And then I went to go do the thumbnail. I was like, oops. And I don't even think I changed it. I'll change it. Maybe I'll remember to change it today. But let's do this. Okay. So I like to break it down into sections. So I do something new, something challenging, something funny, something deep, which is typically the more spiritual side, which is really fun. And then, of course, something beautiful. And so hold on one second. I feel something tickling me right now, which was the eye or eyelash. There we go. And so that's that's how I break it down, and we'll just move through it. Now, throughout the week, what I started doing is I keep my little board up, and then as something pops in, I just hurry up and I write it down so I don't forget. So I kind of collect the week throughout the week so that when I come and sit down with you all, I have kind of a nice little fun list. So, which is so good because I almost forgot about the Super Bowl. So I had such a good week, I forgot about the Super Bowl for a second. And then I came here, I'm like, oh, it's here. I was like, I'm glad I didn't forget because that's how great this week has been. Okay, so all right. Usually at the end, I determine if it was the best week ever, but I can already tell you it's the best week ever. So just buckle in for the best week ever. Just get in there. I'm like, I don't have to, feel the feelings to tell you this. I can just already tell you it is. So I'm just excited to actually tell you. Okay. All right. Ooh, I got you. All right. Let me see something. You're the only one that knows that thing. All right, here we go. So the first thing was Sunday. So let's get into Sunday. So we all met last week and I did the video. That was a part of the best week ever. That was a fun video to make. It was a fun video to make. I was talking about the Grammys and just kind of watching the YouTube videos afterwards, like the Lauryn Hill and all that. And it was all about forgiving Lauryn Hill. Making the thumbnail was a lot of fun. Like there was just the Sunday, I kicked it off with like a bang. And then when I was rewatching the video, I just had a great time watching it. I mean, I loved how long I went on about Billy Goat Gruff legend and like how pissed off I was. I enjoy watching it myself because sometimes when you're in the moment, I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing. So it's actually, I don't think about what I'm doing. I'm just like, I'm here, I'm going to deliver, I'm going to let you know what's going on. And so to go back and like hear, like see it as a viewer, I was tickled with myself. So I was thoroughly I rewatched myself multiple times throughout the week just because I was like, what the, because that Billy Goat Gruff thing that just kind of came out, and then it was nice that it transitioned to Billy Porter. So if you haven't watched that video, go watch it. It was a good ride. It just talked about the week and then all the excitement I had. Yes. So here we go. All right. First thing on that day. So Sunday starts the week, Saturday ends the week, right? So Sunday, I made one of the best. I didn't tell you all about this. I mean, I wrote it down immediately because I did not want to forget. I did not want to forget what I did. I made pancakes. Sundays are my days for pancakes. It's either Saturday or Sunday. And so I typically do Sundays more now, just because Saturday I'm still like in routine and I have to do something fast. Pancakes take a little bit longer, so I like to like take my time to make the pancakes. And I like to do like a fruit compote usually on top. So I don't do syrup most days. I never do syrup actually. So what I put on my pancakes is usually going to be honey, or I'll do a fruit compote. And so I was like, let me do the fruit. And I had some passion fruit, a cube puree, and then I had blueberries. And I had both of these for a while. So I was like, I gotta get rid of this because I just had like a little bit of each. And I've never put them together. And so I said, well, let me do something with it. So I put them in my the pan that I always make my compote in. And I was like, all right, let's put some heat on. And I just walked away from that. Then I made my pancakes and I thought, I always like to put a little bit of extract in my pancakes. So it'll be vanilla extract is almost for sure, like that's always going to be an ingredient. And then I'll either I have almond extract, I have rum extract, I need to get coconut, but I have like different extracts. I decided rum would probably go nicely with it. And so I did that. Now, oh my gosh, the rum extract gives this nice, beautiful like flavor to it. And then the combination of blueberry and passion fruit, it was sweet because I sweeten it too. I'll use like stevia drops to do it because I'm not trying to add extra sugar. And so it's sweet. It was sweet. Mm. And stevia goes really well with sour things. It doesn't have like a weird taste, just so you know if you're ever wondering. And I put in, and that was it. I mixed that. Even now thinking about it, my jaws, I'm gonna drool. It was so good. It was so good. And then I put butter. So it's butter, my pancakes, and then that compote, cut it all up. Every bite was divine. Every bite was divine. So I had blueberry passion fruit pancakes. That is how I started off my week, you all. I did kind of something similar this week. I didn't do passion fruit, but I started off my week with blueberry passion fruit pancakes. That is how I came to you in the video. All blueberry passion fruit pancaked up. Okay. That was what was flowing through me when I was like, let me sit here. Okay. Then there was this thing that I wanted, and we're talking about something new. Another something new is this new mug. Now you're like, a mug. Well, I love my pink mug is my favorite mugs, and you guys have seen that mug before because I probably had it last week, but it was slowly dying on me. And what was happening was like right here in the center, it was slowly cracking. And I had poured tea in it and I heard, and I was like, oh, shoot. And then even it kind of like little fluids, I was like, oh man, I gotta get a new one. And so I think that weekend, the last weekend, I think on a Saturday, we were getting ready to go to a party. I think that's correct. Yeah. And I couldn't find, and we looked at mugs and I couldn't find one. And so I said, you know what? I'll find one. And I decided to go right back to the same place. And we were there for a long time. It wasn't like we weren't really looking, but I went back to the same place. And because this is the shape I like the kind of narrow and I like that round and I like it to be large to hold like at least 2 cups. And so this is strawberry vanilla green tea today. So, oh, nice. So, that's my new mug. Very happy with it. Very, very happy. So I had to release my old one and now I have this one. And I wanted pink, but honestly, this is really my vibe right now. And I have a very like obnoxious pink office chair. So I was like, you know what? You have enough pink in your life right now, why don't you? This I held it, I looked at it, and I really just like the design on it. Yeah, this is my new mug. And I'm not the kind of person who likes a lot of mugs, so I don't have like all these mugs. I have 2 mugs. I have a stainless steel one that I like to use sometimes, and then I have this one. That's it. I'm not trying to have all this extra stuff going on. And so therefore it's important to me like what I get. All right. All right. So that's one thing. All right, now we'll move forward. Then since I admitted to myself that I do like chocolate. Now, last week I finally admitted it. So then this week was a week of chocolate discovery. It wasn't too extreme, but I was just kind of like I just felt freer in myself, you know. Once I just was like, you know what? You do like chocolate. You know, I'm like, fine. Let's see what this world has to offer us. And so I made cherry chocolate yogurt. Now, I told you all the discovery came about that I actually like chocolate. Um, I figured it out because we'll get to Valentine's Day. I'm laughing at this. Celebrated Valentine's Day with Newport. I discovered that I like cherries. I discovered I like chocolate because I put chocolate powder in my yogurt. And that kind of was like this, like, whoa, you're going really far here. And so this time I decided to put the cherries in like the fresh cherries. I made like a little cherry kind of like I had frozen cherries, not fresh. Frozen cherries. I heated them up, mashed them up real nice and good. Then I put the chocolate powder in there. Then I mixed in the yogurt. That was for breakfast one morning. Oh my gosh. I think it was on Monday. Woo! When I tell you it was so good, that was Monday. And after I had that, I came back into this room and wrote cherry chocolate yogurt because I had to tell you all about it. It was frozen cherries, the chocolate drinking powder, and my regular Greek yogurt in the morning. It's my regular morning yogurt. I also put flaxseed powder in there just for, you know, you got to get some fiber, omega-3s, you know, you got to give it nutrients. So think about it. I got vitamin C, I got vitamin A, I got some good stuff. I got my probiotics, I have delicious chocolate, all mixed up in there. I'm starting my day like a champion. Okay, if you can't figure it out, that's how I start my days. So, oh, it was absolutely delicious. I have yogurt every morning. That's typically, except on these pancake days. And so I took it to a whole other level. Amazing. So that was something new. Then we will kind of skip over. I mean, Benito bowl was something new, but I don't put it there. We have it. It's in a different space in this storyline that we're giving you today. Then we have. I mean, there was a lot going on. I saw my nephew. I saw him on Friday. And yeah, we'll come here. We'll go. I'm looking at my list of all the things. I saw my nephew on Friday, and he is 6'3". The last time I saw him, he was 6'2". I didn't see him. It wasn't that long ago that I saw him. He is not even, he's not even a sophomore in high school, you all. He is just growing and growing and growing. It is absolutely amazing. I love it. I love to see him grow like this. So that was new for me because I was just like, I don't know what I was expecting. I know he's growing. Every time I see him, he's growing, but it's just kind of amazing where he is just like shooting up. And I'm like, how tall is this kid actually going to be? Because, you know, there was a prediction that he'd be 6'5". I'm like, he's only a freshman. He's he's getting taller than 6'5". He says 6'6", but I'm like, at this point, I'm like, dude, you might be 6'7" by the time we're done. By the time you're done, you're probably going to be one of those very tall. It is just absolutely amazing to see him just kind of shoot up. Both of his parents are tall. But when you have, I think when you add the tall mom to the like the scenario, I mean, woo, because my mom stunted my growth, right? My father is pretty tall, but they have a foot between them. She stunted my growth in just an obnoxious way, if you ask me. Because I feel like I should have just at least gotten to the middle. Nah, not with these people. Not with her. Those genes were strong. She was like, honey, stay close to the ground, stay humble. So she stunted me. But I'm here. I'm okay. I'm not upset or anything. So it's kind of cool to see, my nephew just shoot up the way he is. It's pretty exciting. See, 6 foot -2. I'm laughing at 6 foot -2. That's how you say it. 6 foot -2. I love it. I mean, yeah, it's that hike, so it's wild. I'm very excited. But yeah, my mom came through and was like, none of those dreams, honey. Because my aunt is 6 feet. One of my father's sisters. Like, she's just like, anyway. So I always hoped I was gonna be like her. Stunted. And all my girl cousins, we all got stunted by our mothers. Mothers, well, kind of, and fathers. But it was like, not here. So anyway, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're okay. We're okay. So it's nice to see my nephew just shooting up the way he is, just up to the sky. I'm happy for him. I also found out that I have a new cousin coming on the way, so I'm very excited about that. I actually found that's pretty. I saw that last night. I was like, oh my gosh, I got a new cousin. So very excited. And then let's see what else. Their babies are just cute little babies, So I'm very excited. And I think that's it. So that was Friday. Now, same Friday, I had 2 dinners on Friday. I had such a day on Friday, I'll tell you what. It was a day, but I had 2 dinners on Friday because I got invited to a Galentine's event. So it's Friday the 13th, and I'm loving it. I went into work that day into the office, and I came home with all these gifts. Like I got a paint number situation. I got a like a cute little thing for like books, like where you open up a book and you hold it. It's pretty cool. Just like cute little stuff. I got this jar, which is so much fun. I think I'll use it because it's a jar that you pretty much what made your week so great. I'm like, I already do this, but okay, now I can write it down and transfer some of these ideas. So I might be able to collect even more ideas as I go. And then what else did we get? We have a cute little office vibe, you know what I mean, at work, as far as like just the cuteness. And then I got a paint by numbers thing. So I got a paint by numbers thing that I'm looking forward to doing. And so yeah, that was my I got all these gifts on Friday. So that was like the first part before I even see my nephew, and then the Galentine's event. So I went to this restaurant that I'm not a big fan of, which it was perfect because then I wasn't going to be tempted to eat food. So I just got a little something just to kind of nibble on, a little appetizer. And then after that, I went to the actual dinner. And so then at the actual dinner, I went to we were supposed to go to like this fancier restaurant, and then the girl who the girl who actually scheduled things for a living, she scheduled it on the wrong date. She scheduled it for the 3rd instead of the 13th. That was just her bad. I think she did it online. And then so they didn't have our reservation, and that place was like, it was packed because I didn't know. Oh, I'll tell you guys. Oh, something funny. I got to put that here. I got to put that there. Hold on. I just wrote a little note. We'll come back to it. And so I get there, and then they had gifts too. I'm like, yo, I didn't know there was gonna be gifts. And she was like, well, I kind of thought it'd be awkward for you to come out to this event come out to a dinner with people you don't know and buy gifts for them. I'm like, yeah, that would have been kind of awkward because I'm like, I didn't know them. And they just put together the cutest gifts. So it was like four girls, four of us ladies, and we all went to a Galentine's dinner. She invited me, which was super sweet. She's a part of my craft circle, so it was just nice to kind of like extend that. That she extended it to me. It felt really good to me. I was like, oh, that was so nice. And then they were a great group of people. Like they were a great bunch. We talked about like books and I mean, we just had a ball. Like I love women-centered spaces. I love when we do our best to like take the men out of the scenario and we just like dive into the things that we're interested in and we just share all of our stuff. I mean, it's still they still might creep in sometimes, but it's just not they're not centered in the conversation. And so we just had such a good time laughing, joking. I had a really decent meal. We ended up at the Cheesecake Factory, which I kind of found funny, just I don't know, something about being at the Cheesecake Factory. And then, do you guys remember like a while ago where there was this whole thing about your first date being at the Cheese Factory and how like that's like not cool? And then just kind of like looking around, seeing all the people who all had the same idea. We just enjoyed ourselves. We all had good food and I don't know if we got cheesecake after that. I kind of want I'm so tempted. I want to go back. There's a cheesecake that I was so curious about. But I just want a little bit. Like, why don't they just give you a little bit? I don't want that whole cheesecake. I guess I could freeze it and then like have it over like a good period of time. But anyway, I'm thinking that one too much while I'm making this video for you all. But that's how I think. I think about desserts. I'm like, well, how do I there's some desserts that I like, but I don't like the full all of them. And what I do, I freeze every dessert that I get, and I'll have a little bit at a time. And so I'm trying to figure out how I can do that with. I should do that one day. Get a cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory, like a slice, and then just like have freeze it, and then just have little bits by bit. That sounds like a great idea. Okay, all right. I think I might do that. All right, so with that in mind, I love a sweet treat, but I really am great at portion control. And so I like to find ways to enjoy my favorite sweet treats without, like overindulging. Because I'm still in the process of releasing some things, some weight. And I will say I did reach a new number. No, it wasn't that new of a number, so it's not something new, but I'm feeling good in my body right now. Okay. I also what was all let's see. Okay. So that was just this brand new experience for me. I don't think I never did the whole Valentine's Day thing where you go out and you have dinner and you buy each other gifts. I have never done that before. So that was a brand new experience for me. And I felt like a foreigner. I felt like, what is this? I felt like yeah, the menu is long. So what I do, I gotta read this. If I take a woman out, I might order her a bologna sandwich just to see where her mind is at. You single, ain't you? This is the most singlest. This is the most single statement I've ever heard. I was trying to mind my own business. I saw it in French. I was like, "What, am I reading this right?" I saw this in French, and I'm like, am I reading that? And I had to come to the English version just to see. Oh, you're super single. This is like that. This is in the trenches single. What in? Did y'all read that? You guys probably read that and said, "Oh, she hasn't seen that yet." I know that's what y'all thought. You were like, "She has not seen that yet." Um, yeah, yeah. Listen. The whole thing about Cheesecake Factory is really simple. The reason why, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Cheesecake Factory, but I think for a first date, people typically want more of a boutique or unique kind of experience, not something that you go to your girlfriends with on Valentine's Day, right? You kind of want that's something that you do after you're like more established in a relationship. Yeah, you go to Cheesecake Factory, but for a first date, sometimes you want a little something special. I don't think it's about money. I think it's about I think for me, I know I would want to be in a place that just fit my personality more. That seemed like they were actually listening and paying attention to the fact that, hey, for me, I'm very specific. I'm a vegetarian. And so therefore, I don't want to go to places that just like cater so much towards meat eaters because I don't have that much to eat. So, and I think that, and then some people want fancier things, whatever it is. Everyone has a different reason, but I understood it on some level. But at the same time, I'm like, I think that I remember that week I just had gone to the Cheesecake Factory, meaning I enjoy it. I think most of us enjoy the restaurant. Clearly we enjoy the restaurant because the line was out the freaking door. But I think for a first date, you want something more intimate, more quiet, more romantic. But with your very single statement, um, with your very single statement, yeah, nah, nah. Nah. This is super. The fact that this is even your thought process, and don't worry, no shade. I'm happily single myself, but I'm happily single because people like you also need to be single. See how it works? Whew. I love Valentine's Day. All right, let me get to this. What's up? I saw Juanita. Okay. You know the funny thing is, first off, what's a man ordering for me for? Like, let's take a moment because we're gonna get to something challenging, but we're not there yet. No one needs to order for me. That's one. So no one's gonna order food for me. I have like a whole brain over here that works and I actually know what I want. That is absolutely insane. So I think that's already if you want to have a red flag, that's already a red flag on the play. Like, what are you ordering for me for? Because if someone did that, I'd be like, no, I'm not gonna have that. And I probably gotta go. And I'm glad that I met you here and you didn't pick me up and I will see you later. I'm going to get something I actually want and you just do your own thing. Cuz I would not. I don't care where we are. We could be at the fanciest restaurant in the world. Someone's ordering for me. I already have a problem. So, see, that's the thing. See why we're both single? we just No, that's not why I'm single. But I don't think anyone has ever tried to order for me. I don't think anyone ever thought that was even appropriate or acceptable. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, let's see what we said. Okay. So funny. So funny. Yeah. I don't know. You're used to a different kind. I don't know what's happening there. I just saw this whole, was it malt liquor? Yeah. No, no, no. All right, ladies, if you're watching and you're single, I hope you enjoyed this segment of Kiki's House of Joy because I think you should learn one, trolling is fun because this is good trolling because I just know for real we ain't doing anything stupid like this. I just know we're not. I know we're not. But, know what you want. And also meet someone when you go out to eat, meet them there for the first date. So you could also take your butt home when it starts to sound stupid. Okay. Just be ready to be like, you know what? I'm gonna go home. Don't even like act like you're gonna go to the bathroom or don't even lie about it. Just gather your things and just say I'm gonna go home. Once it gets dumb, if it gets dumb, you know what? I'm gonna go home. That's it, and go home. So I hope this has prepared you to think that way because I already think that way, but I hope it's prepared you to think that way. All right. Lord of mercy. All right. Speaking of that, that's why this week has been the best week ever. I have not dealt with dumbness at all. I have dealt with just like beauty. So Valentine's Day was just a great time. It was totally unexpected, something I just never, and then just to leave home with all these gifts. I came home with just gifts. I don't think even, I'm just taking things. I'm just like, oh my gosh. I just felt like it was amazing. So that was a really special time for me, and I just enjoyed just the day. So then I go to sleep, and let's talk about something challenging. So something challenging. I'm switching over, and we have Benito Bowl. Something challenging for me. It wasn't challenging for me, but it was for those racist folks. I was like, gosh, these people are having a really hard time. So there was something funny that happened at work. It tickled me so much. Now, it's Monday, it's after the Super Bowl, and we have this thing where we have like a GIF chat, and I don't know if it's like GIF or GIF, but the GIF, right? And so in that chat, I usually start the chat because I'm the first one in the morning. And it's really a way to like keep tabs on people. Like, are y'all here? Did you show up? So it's a fun way for you to clock in without clocking in, if that makes sense. Because everyone comes in at different times. And so that's just kind of the way that we clock in. And I like to have a theme. So when I started, everyone knows that I pretty much like a theme. And so it could be anything. So we might do something like, someone might put up, what's a good example? The Muppets. And so someone puts up a Muppet, and the next thing you know, you see like different Muppets. Someone might put up like a cute dog, and then you see all these cute dogs like for the rest of the day. It's super adorable. I love it. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And different themes. We've done like Lord of the Rings. We've done just name it. We have done all kinds of themes. And so because we just did the Super Bowl, my theme in my mind was the Super Bowl. It wasn't Benito. It wasn't Bad Bunny. But for me, I had to choose the part that was most significant for me. It definitely wasn't the game because I didn't watch the game. Like I wasn't there for that. I was at the parents' house chilling. I came a little later because my stepdad was like, I thought you were gonna come like right on time for the Super Bowl. I said, well, I wasn't sure, and then I knew we were gonna eat, so I wanted to get some food beforehand. I wanted to get comfortable, and I also had the thumbnail to do, so I had set myself up with the thumbnail. I'm on the couch, my feet are up, I'm relaxed, and I'm pretty much sitting in front of the TV, like just doing the thumbnail. Mom cooked like spaghetti, and so I got hurried up, got my spaghetti. It was this great situation, and I'm waiting for it to happen. And then finally, the Super Bowl happens, and I'll tell you that later. But I'll tell you that later. I can't tell you yet. But that was my vibe for the Super Bowl. Okay, so I wasn't there for anything else. By the time the halftime show was over, I called it the concert. The whole week before that, I was like, who's going to the concert? Like, are you guys going to the Bad Bunny concert? Because I'm going. Who's watching the Bad Bunny concert? I didn't even call it the Super Bowl. I'm just doing that for y'all right now. And so when I saw it, and then when it was over, and then I had already finished the thumbnail. I was like, well, I saw in a good day's work. I'm like, I hung out with my mom for a little bit because she wasn't watching anything. She was in a whole other room doing I don't know what. I hung out with my mom for a little bit, and I was like, hung out, like got the report on the game from my stepdad, like what's going on there. All right, y'all, I'm out. That was it. So it was a good time. But my point is that was what the game was for me. So when I put that in the chat, I put Bad Bunny. Like that was it. So, but in my mind, it's Super Bowl theme because I know not everyone is as excited about Bad Bunny. At least I didn't think they were. All right. So everyone, but much to my surprise, I put the first Bad Bunny in, then someone else, and then we had all these Bad Bunnies in the chat. It was hilarious. And then we had one person who puts this GIF that actually has a black man saying, I'm not going to participate in that. I was like, you could have just done a football theme. But this was the kind of person where I'm pretty sure they watched the other one. I'm pretty sure they watched the other one. So I was like, man, you're really having a hard time. I got a good laugh at it though, because I really wasn't expecting all of us to go so hard for Bad Bunny. So it was a pretty dope situation. But I was like, ooh. So that was when I came home. I'm like, man, it was challenging for some folks, wasn't it? I didn't realize how challenging this whole like halftime show was for people. Like I didn't get it because in my world, in my purview, we were all on the same page. We're all excited. I don't pay attention to white people like that. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like my algorithms are very much aligned to what I value. I am not tapped in. I didn't even think that whole thing about the rumors of a whole other like show was real. Like I didn't think that was real. I just thought it was like a rumor. I didn't believe it. I was like, oh, they're just so silly. I did not make a connection that this was actually like a real situation. Okay. and I don't like, but I think it's just because I'm so tapped into my values and my value system that I just don't pay attention to this other stuff. So I didn't know. I really didn't know. It wasn't until I heard later on in the week that people were still like having a time. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? Like for real? Like you and so then I had this conversation with someone and they were like, I just don't understand. Now, Arisha, you'll laugh at this because you said that's America. And let me see here. Oh, Stray Panthers in the house. What's going on? Um, oh, when they went to sleep, all they saw in their dreams were bunnies. They probably did. I feel like they were struggling. But when I went, I had a conversation, and I mean, y'all stay with me here. I had this conversation with this lady, and I was like, "What do you think about Bad Bunny? Like, what do you think about the concert?" Oh, it was all right. It was nice. Like, I didn't understand everything. I'm like, yeah, okay. Even Spanish speakers don't understand everything this man says. Like, it's okay. I mean, I didn't understand everything, but it's like it was okay. I'm like, I just don't like how like divided everything has become just over this Super Bowl. Like, I just don't understand why it got so divided. And like what- this this isn't the country I know. Now y'all know what she looked like, right? You know what she looked like. And my butt was like, "Welcome to America." And I'm smiling the whole time she's talking. I mean, it must have looked absolutely insane. Cause I was just like, what is she talking about? But I'm listening. I'm trying not to smile too much because I still want to hear more. Cause I don't want to rob myself of this really bizarre experience. And it's just like I just, you know, we're just so divided. This isn't why are we so divided over, this? And I just don't like that now the halftime show is just like this focus. And like it's not about football anymore. Like, I was like, whoa, whoa, this is some wild stuff. And I said nothing. I didn't give her a history lesson. I wasn't going to bring up what In Living Color did. I wasn't going to bring up why the halftime show even became a thing and why it has existed for as long as it has. How many years? It's over 20 years of the same freaking concept. The difference is that this is your first time where I don't know. I think it's because of the power of Bad Bunny that it infected people because no one cared about Shakira and J Lo, I guess, right? But it was the power of Bad Bunny, and I think what he did previously, it's like they could feel when someone's about more than just the entertainment because that wasn't just about the entertainment, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." But I didn't give her any information. I just took it as how they say when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And then I'm like, yeah. Uh I think that's kind of just a true American. I just left it alone. I was cracking up over just the response of it all. I'm like, y'all are weird. Just weird. I'm like, well, okay, well, I'm like, and I think I did at one point say, I'm like, well, racism is alive and well in America. It never went away, but I guess I don't know. Is it new for you or something? I did say. I was trying to figure it out. I did have some like, is this like a new thing? Yeah. It's always been a thing. Yeah. Yeah, they're mad because you've had two amazing shows where people are actually saying something, and it's not just about shucking and jiving for them. It's like they're taking, that platform and they're like, we're going to say something today. And to me, it's the most American, the last two ones from Kendrick to Benito Bowl, these have been the most American Super Bowls. Like this has been like the truest of what to me like what symbolizes what they say America is. I mean, Benito had all the American. I mean, in Kendrick, it was all red, white, and blue. I feel like the whole time, right? I mean, it was super American. it felt like, I mean, there was the flag, you had it all. Benito had all the flags of America, right? Because we are ignorantly educated here in the States, and that we somehow think we are the only Americans. And it's not until you leave this country and you start to meet people all throughout, the Americas, and they're like, I'm American. I remember the first time I felt so silly being like, oh, yo soy americana. Like, me too. Like, what, you didn't think I was? And then I started to learn. I learned like why they said that. I'm like, oh my God. So the fact that they're educated totally differently, their maps look different than our maps, right? The way it's all different. So we are raised with this kind of like ridiculous, really it's this white supremacist way of thinking and being. And so when I see them challenge, I'm just like, I'm tickled by that. So then we will tell you the part that the other challenging part. I think I had a cold the whole week, and I fought it off like a soldier, man. I fought it off like a soldier. My body refused to be sick. It just said no. But I also had cold calm. Not sponsored. I mean, we all know it's not sponsored, right? But still, I just have to say not sponsored. But if you guys there's like this homeopathic medicine called cold calm. If you start to feel a hint of something, they're really great. Helps to calm down any symptoms. And so my life has been good ever since I discovered them, because I don't like being sick and I don't like feeling sick. I don't want a hint of it at all. And so if I even feel a hint, I just pop two of them babies and everything is good. So I wasn't sick. I did have to take a little bit of time off during the week because I was like, got a little headache. But I made it through like a soldier. I'm feeling good, and I remain feeling good. Then my nephew. So I asked my nephew. This was challenging. I asked my nephew, I'm like, what did you think about the Super Bowl? And he's like, oh, it was horrible. 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 Now, if you hear me imitating him, and if you ever heard me imitate my brother, you'll know that it sounds about the same. I don't know how genetics work, but oh my gosh. Now, to help y'all understand something, I have a brother, but we are night and day. It is almost like we were not raised in the same household. It is almost like, we barely know each other. I'm telling you that. It is just like night and freaking day. It is absolutely amazing how different we are. It blows my mind. Now there are ways, like if you hear me speak and you hear him speak, there are probably some aspects of the way that we speak, right? Just now when I said it blows my mind, that even that intonation, he probably does that too. Okay? Genetics, we get that. But what trips me out is how much this kid is like him. It's just disturbing. Okay? I'm like, what in the world? You did not start off this way. But as he grows and forms his identity, oh my gosh. So I asked him, he's like, oh, it's horrible. So now when I imitate him, I'm going to start sounding just the same. You won't even know the difference. But, oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. And I'm like, okay. And then at first he's talking about the game. But he's doing this on purpose because he's a clever kid. He knows what he's about to tell me. So he's talking about the game and he's trying to tell me why the game was bad. Now, I don't know enough about sports, but I knew that game was bad because I was bored. When I looked up, I kept on saying what was going on. It was a boring game, apparently. Larisha, have you said anything about this game? Can you chime in? It was a boring game, right? She's our sports expert here. As a sports expert, Larisha, can you confirm? They look past us, open into the, oh yeah. Oui, le match a été un échec. Yes, the game was a wash. Thank you so much. All right. So he was telling me that, and I kind of knew that enough because I was bored. So my way of knowing that the game was boring is that it was boring, and not once did it make me want to be like, "Ooh, what's going on?" Like the game was in front of me, but my eyes never went up. So, but he broke it down about defense and offense and blah blah blah. Sports talk. Who cares, right? And so I was like, cool. I'm like, well, I didn't watch the game, right? He's like, yeah. So I said, what did you think about Super Bowl, the halftime show? He's like, oh, it was bad. It was horrible. Y'all, I'm only telling you this story because I don't really believe I'm embarrassing my nephew in this situation, because I'm going to tell you about the next part. It was challenging. And he knew what he was doing, because I was sitting there like, deep breathing, being dramatic. And he's telling, oh, it was in Spanish. I know what you're saying. Like, oh, I was like, so I was like, what did you think? So then I was like, okay, let him say his thing. And instead of me saying what I thought of it, I said, what did you think I thought about it? And he goes, you thought it was great. It was the most amazing thing you've ever seen. Oh, it was so amazing. Oh, it was beautiful. Cause I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm like, and why did you think I thought that? He's like, oh, because you like different cultures. You salsa dance and you love to dance and you like to see, all the different people. And I was like, yeah, that. I'm like, but also it was like, this amazing like historical tale. He's like, history? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he started off talking about, the plantations and you're talking about the history of slavery in Puerto Rico and also the what happened there. And like you're seeing all the representation of different cultures. And it talked about, from coming from Puerto Rico into New York and what that meant and how the culture started to bleed even more into like the fabric of America and then at the same time the importance of him maintaining like what he knows to be true to himself and understand the importance of the land and he's like, huh? Like all this stuff, of course, he didn't know because he's just knowing whatever he's hearing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So as he starts to break it down, he primarily lives with his mom. So as he starts to break it down, we're talking about it, I'm saying things. He's like, oh, oh. And this is why I don't mind telling you the story. This is why I'm not embarrassed. It's because he was listening. He was actually listening. He shut up and he listened. And I knew that he heard it. He knew what I was telling him because I do this on a regular basis. He says something absolutely idiotic. And then I say, okay, well, here are all these different things. Maybe you'll think about it. And then we moved on and we talked about, what he wants to do as far as grow musically and with his talent. And I was just so proud of him. I'm like, but did you see that orchestra? Did you see like what? And I even broke down the orchestra part because for someone who's in the orchestra, I'm like, you surely missed a really important part about how he talks about the formation of the music, right? The different cultures that come together to bring even like the salsa and the music that he started to celebrate, right? From the drumming, he has the drummers, you see this orchestra, I'm like, all these things come together, the horn sections, all this stuff comes together because of all the different cultures that come together to make Puerto Rico. So we talked about that and it started to click in him. So I was happy that what made me happy is that where even though he sounds like him, he looks like him, he's taller than him. He's open-minded. He's so open-minded. He opened up his mind and he did listen to me. So I was like, okay, 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 nephew. And so I was even more proud of him. He may still have the same idea later. I don't care. I think what I respect about him is that he does listen and he knows when to shut up. He knows like there's a moment where we got to like shut up. Maybe he's just saying like, oh, it's all about her opinion. And I know what that's like to be a kid and be around adults with strong opinions. I totally get that. But I feel like at least he did it, you know? He had a moment where he was like, okay. And I was happy about that. Woo. Mm. Ah, thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad he's you because he is an intelligent kid, but it's amazing. Sometimes all you know is what you're exposed to. And so the fact that I think that, we know real intelligence is being able to take all that you're exposed to and put it together in an intelligent way. It's what can you do with all the knowledge, right? It's not can you regurgitate everything? Can you take everything, critically analyze it, and then synthesize it and apply it to your life? That's intelligence. And so he is showing that. He shows it bit by bit by bit, and I'm just really proud of him. Even though that was a very challenging moment for Aunt Kiki. Aunt Kiki was struggling. I was like, okay, something funny. So in all of this, and this was great because it's perfect timing. It's Black History Month, y'all. So y'all know every Black History Month, I do Black History all year. Let's be clear. But Black History Month, I try to make sure I am reading some book that's interesting. So this month, I'm reading. I'm probably gonna read more, but this is one that I've been listening to this week, and it is called Black AF History. It is funny. So it's something funny, and I highly recommend it because it's super, super funny. Um, it's the way he delivers it, and I'm doing audio because y'all know I'm walking. I got things to do. I'm doing audio, and it is just a hoot. He makes it funny. He's making fun of like the way, like he's like, y'all know Europeans don't know how to name stuff. Y'all, it's just like it's very like he's speaking to us. So if he is speaking to Black people, he has a very clear audience. He's not making this for anyone else really. Like you might enjoy it, but the way he's speaking is kind of like there's so many moments where you're like that, and it's just a great way to read a book. I'm like, I don't know if I've ever had that kind of experience reading a book where you're laughing at like there's like inside jokes that he's telling, like culturally inside jokes as he's breaking down history. And so I love it because it's helping me. I love to hear about history in different ways and get it delivered in different ways. So this has been fun. So he's kind of going before and after, and it's all based off a lot of his studies. So he's kind of putting it all together in one book. So anyway, check it out. If you're interested, Black AF History, I highly recommend it, and it is funny, very entertaining. Then something fun. While we're at Valentine's Day, we are all hanging out, and so one of the girls says, "Well, I heard that the day before Valentine's Day is the side chick Valentine's Day," and we're like, "Huh?" So we say that, and remember, this is a conversation, and we're talking loud enough to hear each other in a restaurant, which means sometimes the table next to you can hear it as well. And all of a sudden, we feel this energy, and the couple next to us is laughing, and then you think to yourself, you're like, "Well, they are a couple. They're here on the day before Valentine's Day." And then we start looking around, trying to figure out all the side chicks or side dudes. We're like, what's going on here? Because it hits you. And like it really does hit you. You're like, this isn't Valentine's Day. There's some couples up in here. What woman, I'll say woman because women tend to love Valentine's Day the most. What woman wants to come to a restaurant the day before Valentine's Day? I mean, I know it's Cheesecake Factory, but for real. You know what I'm saying? You want to go on, and I mean, some people might, I get it, but when that couple laughed, and shortly after that, they were gone. We were like, I think we tapped in. We tapped in. So that was pretty funny. We started laughing after that. Something funny also is that I don't even know how to explain this moment, but I can't. I haven't gotten to it yet, so I'll talk about it later. Something deep. Let's go to something deep. Something deep. Something deep. Now we'll get to it. So Valentine's Day, I did have a wonderful Valentine's Day. So Juanita's here. So Juanita had this idea somewhere in the middle of the week, and she was like, I don't know when you had the, well, she's here. She could probably tell her they didn't get the Prime Day. Y'all having fun in the comments. And I miss some stuff. But Juanita said, hey, let's do a Valentine's Day. And she invited one other person over who's also going to be part of a fun little group that I'm creating. And so it was great. I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, why not? It's better than being at home or whatever, right? I'm like, cool beans. So my mom is so cute because she was actually trying to get me to come over. I think she forgot that I was going to do this. And she was like, I want to give you your card. And I'm like, and I was like, Mom, I'm about to go. So Juanita says, she goes, okay, here's your little, she sends me one of those gifts. Ever since she discovered gifts or GIFs, I forget, I don't know how they're said, but ever since she discovered them, it's like her thing. Holidays, when I tell you, she is in her bed or somewhere sending people these little things, and she's so very proud of herself when she does this. I just think it's the funniest thing. And so she did send me one, and so I think I sent her one back. I was like, okay, cute. They love cards. They love cards in general. And then for her Valentine's Day gift, she got this blanket that pretty much was like, all the reasons that I love you, and now you get to wrap yourself up in it kind of thing. I was like, my stepdad's a trip. But it was a whole blanket. I'm like, the blanket has all those words on it because she's reading all of it. And it's like super mushy. You know what I mean? You are my sunshine. You are my this. You are my that. She's like, yeah. And it's a blanket. And I get to wrap myself in it. She's telling me the dimensions because that means she could really wrap herself in. I was like, okay. You wrapped up in love. So cute. So it was super adorable. And so then I guess she was feeling the love so much, she went and got me a card. And she wanted me to get it. I was like, I'll get it later. So I need to plan a nice little what's it called? Day. We're gonna watch movies. And I was like, all right, cool, cool, cool. Now I love rom-coms, but it's like three women getting together. And I'm like, we don't need to do that. We don't do weird stuff to ourselves. Let's just enjoy ourselves, right? And so we did. And then also pizza. Now she didn't know this, but I really like pizza on Valentine's Day because I like the red of the sauce for Valentine's. And I didn't do this because it was not necessary, but sometimes I shape my pizza in hearts on Valentine's Day. If you look on my Instagram and go like back in time, you'll probably see a pizza with a heart shape. It's because that's what I like to do. So we made pizza, and I just love it. I love the red. So I didn't think I said anything. Anyway, you know now. And we had a good time. That's why it's something funny. I kind of laughing at, like, we had some fun moments, but something deep. It kind of hit me while we were there. So me and Juanita, of course, we spent a lot of time with each other. Y'all know that. And then one of her friends is kind of we're almost like hanging out with each other, and we're finding our chemistry. And in that process, we start telling her about our our social stuff, all the things that we do. And we don't realize, I mean, I don't think it hit me of like, one, how much time we actually spend with these people. Because as we're telling her about like everyone and personalities and all the little fun things and the quirks, she's like, well, who are they? So we're like we're like, oh, well, here are the pictures. And I'm going through all these pictures that we've had for every event that we did. And this is the crazy thing. There's no pictures from last night other than I have a picture of my pizza. That's it. There's no evidence that we had this epic, beautiful, wonderful night. So I had to say it here because it really was nice. But it kind of hit me. I'm like, I had this moment in my mind, and I'm like, I have really made this time or this season in my life to be absolutely special and divine. And I don't know what it means for me, but I do know that it was born out of loss. It was born out of grief, but not the kind of paralyzing loss or grief. It was born out of the knowledge that life goes on and you have to decide how you want to live. And it's up to you to make that happen. And when I decided that I was going to enjoy my life and I was going to have the best years ever, I didn't know that it would look like this. And so as we're describing our life, into this new person, and she's listening to us, and she's just like, she's saying things like, this is, you guys have community, you have this, you have that. And I'm like, I guess we do. I've always felt there was something special about the interactions that we've had with each other and the things that we did. But when I'm looking at all the pictures, and because I'm trying to like, oh yeah, well, this is so, I'm looking at all these pictures and all these moments. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have done a lot with each other. You can just go over, these, and I was looking, I hadn't even completed 1 year. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like we really like do stuff. And there's some things that we haven't even documented. I mean, we went one night. We need to do that again. One night, I remember the night we went to, what's it called? The cumbia night, cumbia-tron. Like it's not just like the salsa and bachata. So much of our fun times and adventures are just like within just doing things, And I'm like, I cannot believe that this has been what we're a part of. And as I was going through the pictures, I'm in most of those pictures, and almost all of them. There's like a few things I didn't go to. So I realized how important it had been to me, like to have this experience in my life. And so it just hit me. It really hit me as we're sharing this story of our worlds, and she's listening, and she's like kind of like what, like kind of surprised. It just hit me of like what a little life for myself I've built here, with community in a way that would have never ever imagined. This is not something I never thought, because I was making jokes about how there was a lot of times I'm the token, and Juanita didn't even know what token meant. Because the other the woman was, she happened to be black, and so I was like, so I showed her a picture. I said, oh yeah, I'm the token in these, sometimes these events, and she was like, well, token. She didn't. And I'm like, no, it's a token black person, meaning, you are that. And I know it sounds crazy. I'm joking about being the token. I'm not. There's always one other person, by the way. So it's two of us. But that's not something I ever imagined in my life. It's just not. I think that I have always been with all my friends have been black for the most part. And we might have people who, you might have one or two people who are not. But yeah, but that was it. It was always like, like we had a white boy Dave. You know what I'm saying? And that was, we would say his name like that. Because that's how, I mean, I went to HBCU, like, come on. And then, I'm trying to say, like, I've always been very immersed, but in order for me to survive here, in this land, I had to open it up. I had to open up my palette. I had to open up everything. And it was very hard for me to do, but I did it. And I don't regret it. And no, I don't see myself as the token anymore. But that was a big, like, that was the challenge I had first, and even spending time with anyone, because I felt like that. And I'm like, oh, and now I just feel like myself, right? Now, it is true though. I always make sure that they know that I know who I am. I That is something I'm very clear about. That's always a joke. I'm like, let me go put my Malcolm X shirt, depending, just in case I feel like people might get too comfortable. I don't have Martin Luther King shirts now. I got Malcolm X shirt. I got Malcolm X shirts. I'm gonna choose one. I got a few. I just redid. I think redid one of them, so I might wear that one. Got to put the shirt on, just so we know that I know. We know that I know who I am, because I don't want anyone to forget. I don't want anyone to get it misconstrued. So I still have that kind of like, feeling. But at the same time, I think it was just kind of amazing. Yeah, last night I had that moment. I mean, while we're there celebrating love, and I realized, I wasn't celebrating romantic love. I was celebrating agape love. I was celebrating familial love. I was celebrating self-love. There was so much love that I was celebrating. And it was just a beautiful day. I went and I started off the day wonderfully. I ended it wonderfully. I mean, it was just a full day of just like true love. It was definitely by far the best Valentine's Day I've ever had. I was treated so well. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, from the 13th to the 14th, I was treated amazing. I mean, I was treated well on the side chick day, and I was treated well on the main day. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, the competition, you know, romantically now, my standards are totally up and through the roof because of what I had, the experience that I had. I mean, I was wined and dined. Maybe there wasn't wine, but I felt it. I mean, I felt cared for. It was funny because one of the girls for the night before, she was pretty much like, they're both, two of them had boyfriends, right? And so she was very much like, y'all need to make sure you know how to be treated. So she's like opening the door for us, the two of us that were single, buying one dessert. It was just kind of like, it was very funny what she was doing. But at the same time, it was the most like wonderful thing ever. Opening the car door, like I was like, well, thank you so much. I was eating it all up. I was loving every moment. So I was spoiled. I'm like, what? I'm like, geez Louise, I have had the best. And I have been in relationship on Valentine's Days, of course. And I don't remember them. This was the best Valentine's Day ever. Valentine's Day season ever. I'm like, I have never been this spoiled. It is absolutely amazing. And I don't know, I can't say anything for these people. I clearly didn't have the right standards, but this year it was like, mm-mm, we're gonna fix your standards here. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. And so yeah, it's been quite amazing. And I love that I got to experience this. So okay, let's see what else here. So yeah, it made me think about my life. It made me think about it made me appreciate just this whole thing, this journey that you guys have been witnessing, that you've been tuning into, that we've been having a good time with, the best week ever. I mean, that's what it births. It births these kinds of experiences, these days, these moments. And I agree, it should be every day. But it's nice to be able to feel it so concentrated and heightened during this time. So then let's go to something beautiful. So something beautiful, because I couldn't put all this stuff in those other places. So something beautiful, of course, was Valentine's Day. I mean, Valentine's Day was beautiful. It was like from the start of it to the end of it, I I started the day with the African dance class, and I was just gonna dance. And but then this little girl in the class, she goes, because the teacher's like, "Happy Saturday, everyone," and we're in the morning, and the little girl, she's like, Happy Valentine's Day. And you didn't realize it's African dance class, and we're talking about we're conscious up in here. And she was like, well, I was trying to stay true for the people, for the cause, for liberation, but yeah, happy Valentine's Day. So to honor just like the courtship and the mating, we did this really fun dance called Yankadi, and I loved it. It was so much fun. I just loved the movement of it. It was slower. It just felt so good to the body. And then we ramped it up with my crew, which is more like lively and up and playful. And I just had a blast. Like that was most of the classes I've gone to, I'm typically a bit more serious because I'm learning, but this time I was just cheesing the whole time, loving like every just moment of what's it called? Just being. And yeah, I loved it. I had such a great time dancing, and moving in that way. Doing dances of courtship felt very nice. And she also said that this is one of the few dances that you'll typically see done in partnership as well. Because a lot of times with African dance, it's always separate, because that's always been my thing. I'm like, I always say Black people don't know how to dance with each other. And it's often because of our historical traditions that we didn't always like. You have a few dances where you come together, and so it was just nice to have that and be and learn that tradition and learn that movement and realize that the movement isn't much different from salsa, which is funny. I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing. It felt very and then also I African movement is in everything that we're doing, hip hop. It's like it's just so amazing when you do the movement, you're like, oh, I know this. And it felt so good. So I started my day off just on a high, like just this crazy high. I had one of my chocolate protein bars, chocolate, because I'm leaned in completely now. I'm not even, I'm just leaned in. Had my little chocolate protein bar. Talked to my mom, and we had our nice little fun. I got to hear my family say Valentine's Day, which is one of my favorite things to hear because they do not say Valentine's Day. I just think it's so cute. My mom's an English teacher. I mean, and she's still Valentine's Day. And I love that. I love it. And I'm glad that it's never changed. I'm glad that it stays true. And I'm glad that everyone does it. Because I remember growing up and I have this very clear memory one Valentine's Day. It was in third grade. And I remember I kept this to myself because there was an instinct that I had that if I said it out loud to my teacher, she would try to correct me. And so I remember telling myself in my little chair that Valentine's Day is said two ways, Valentine's and Valentines. And I knew that they were both correct. And anyway, so I love hearing both. It just means a lot to me. It means a lot. I love that it's done in these different ways. It always meant something more to me to hear Valentine's Day, than Valentine's. So then, I took a little nap and relaxed, and then, yeah, I just then I had Benito bowl. I mean, then we had then okay, no, then we had Valentine's Day, and we had pizza. We had We had brownies, the brownies that I like. We watched Girls Trip was actually a really fun. It's a fun movie to watch with women. First time I saw it, I don't remember. We didn't do it that way, so it was just so much fun. But we talked and talked, and the a very beautiful part was I sent them a message afterwards because we were so the night we were tired. Like, you get really tired, we're ready to go. And we were there from 4. We didn't leave till about 1. But I'm gonna say 1-ish, but this is the thing. I swear we started leaving her place, okay, it's time for us to go. I'm gonna say we started leaving maybe around 11:30. And her apartment is a nice size, it's 1 bedroom, but it's not that big for what I'm about to explain to you. So we get up maybe around 11:30, I'm guessing. And now we're like in the just here's the couch. Now we're next to just the dining table. And I brought my pizza pan, so she's kind of like just cleaning things off, and we're still talking. I don't know what we're talking about then, but now we're talking about something. Then we're talking for quite a while, just in this whole conversation. Then we move to her like entryway. Now we got shoes on at this point, but we're still talking. We're there for quite a while. When I tell you we're only moving a couple of feet to say goodbye, and now we're still talking, still talking. Already have hugged at this point, but we got about at least 20 more minutes of this goodbye. All right. Now we're working our way. Now we go downstairs and we're walking, still talking. We're still still talking. Now we don't even get to our cars. We're in the middle of like the road. Well, middle of like kind of like the little, yeah, the passageway where cars do drive, and we're still talking. This is the longest goodbye ever. And the whole time it kind of hit me. Remember seeing this video of like leaving a Black person's house and like how long it can actually take for you to actually leave. And it was like that. It was the longest goodbye ever. And I was just in my body and inside my head, I was just smiling and cheesing, just seeing us, even though I was so tired and I was exhausted. I was just laughing at the fact that we just were enjoying each other and we were just still talking, still this, like just that. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That whole like, and we it was that much fun, and it was like we couldn't even say like how happy we really were to like just have that experience. I mean, it was just so we had a great time. And then we finally get to the car and we leave. And so then when we left, I get home and I text and say, I'm home and everything. And I look for the video. I look for like a video that says that. And I sent them a message and I'm like, thank you so much for making this a real thing. I didn't say the exact words, but it was pretty much being like, I'm so happy that we actually did that in real life. That just because when I tell you, it was just like from little space to space. And it took forever. It took about an hour and a half for that goodbye. That's how you know. You know how many times I've left places and I'm just like, I'm out. I'm out. I'm going. Um, I couldn't do that this time. So it meant a lot to be able to do that. Wadi is laughing because it was funny. It was just so, yeah. So I love that. All girl hangs are the best healing. At home, I have 2 girl hangs, but when I see girls in DC, it's the best. Only happens twice a year. It's so awesome when you can vibe out like that and just, I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. And I loved it. I absolutely loved just how long it took for us to get to our cars. It was just, and that's that cultural connection too. Wani and I talk about this a lot of how like we are just culturally, we are just so much. It's like the same sometimes. It is like different languages, like maybe a slightly different food, but culturally, it's like we're the same. We really are. So it's just funny. I've been just I enjoy our friendship. I just love like seeing all the similarities we have like on a regular basis. We're just like, oh my gosh. So yeah, we got to do that. Because even though I said how Black people, I'm like, I know it's the same. I know it's the same. It's just culturally, that's just how we roll. So it was just really special. So I thought that was really beautiful. And then I will go back in time and then I'll say the other thing that I found beautiful, and that was the Benito bowl. It was so beautiful. Like it's funny because I heard, the whole conspiracy stuff came in later and it's out there. I'm not gonna go over it with you all because it's always gonna be there. But what I really enjoyed about the halftime show, him and the Kendrick and his, they're just neck, they're right there with me. I don't rank one over the next because I feel like they serve so many, they serve different purposes for me. But this is why I can explain how great it was. So when I'm sitting down, remember, I'm not even looking at the game most of the time, but we know it's coming on. I'm sitting down. And at first I was like, I guess I'll just sit down and watch. That's what I thought. And so, mom sat down. My stepdad's over here, my mom's over there, and they're just kind of chilling. My mom knew that, hey, mom, come on, time to watch the real thing. You don't gotta watch sports, but you gotta watch this. So we're all here. And then I'm watching, and then I start to stand up. And so I stand up, and because I saw the sugar cane. I see the sugar cane. I'm like, is that sugar cane? And I get up, and I'm like, oh, and I'm in it. I am in it. Oh, I'm locked in. And then it starts to come on, and he's starting, and then all of a sudden you hear the beat. Once I start to hear a beat, I'm moving my body. When I tell you, I jumped, I danced, I was doing the choreography, because a lot of that choreography was, in a certain point, was like basic kind of like salsa choreography that we do on a regular basis. So I already knew, oh, we're doing this now. So I'm going over here. I'm like, ooh, I'm trying to do all the choreography with them at the same time, picking up on the moves, trying to anticipate what they're doing. I am jumping with them. I am going really, really, really hard. Because even when Lady Gaga comes on, it's still a salsa beat in the back. So I'm like, oh yeah. I'm doing it like how you're actually she's all excited. It's actually but she was on beat. She was excited. And I was really doing, I was working. I'm like, Lady Gaga's like, you actually do it, when you're doing it. And I'm going. When I tell you, I blacked out in a way. I was there, but I wasn't, because my whole self, I was jumping, moving. When it was finally over, it was like I came back down. I was on some kind of existential high, because I came back down. I literally felt like I descended back into my body. I felt grounded. My body now was fully alive and enlightened and excited. And I looked back. I'm like, wow, that was good, wasn't it? And they are laughing at me. Like, well, you had a great time. And I asked later, I'm like, were you guys watching me or were you watching the Super Bowl? They said, well, both, because there was a show happening on both ends. I was in it. When I tell you, I was on a high for really the rest of the week, honestly. Just a high. I mean, I had Bad Bunny songs floating through my mind and singing, and of course I was enjoying all like the extra stuff, the symbolism. Oh yeah, it really was a wedding and all that stuff. I was enjoying just like all the background, the cultural stuff, looking at the lyrics and all just the fun stuff. And just it was the best, man. And because even when I broke down like the flags to my nephew and just like American, like just trying to help him understand, like, you don't know things, kid. You just don't know stuff, and you're out here just talking wild and ignorant, and you're talking ignorant because your people don't know stuff. So you got to know more. Take a look. It's in a book. And that's the other interesting part, was that because I was reading this the Black AF history, it actually goes into Puerto Rico in this particular, because that's the thing we have to understand, the diaspora. We are all over these lands. And so when you understand your history and you understand the connection and the diasporic connection, I can't look at Mexico and not understand African presence. I just can't. It's for one of the first places where people African people who were kidnapped were dropped off. You guys know that, right? From the Portuguese. So, when you think about the way these lands and the way that African bodies were mistreated and misused to build all of this, the Americas, then you start to understand, I can't imagine myself separate from any of these people, even if there was places where they were whitewashed and bleached out and all of that. And so even if you have our Dominicans, I know Blackie, and that's okay. Like, I'm like, whatever. I still know the story, and you can't take my knowledge of the story away from me. Even if I know almost all my Mexican friends that I talk to all have a little bit of African blood in them. Even if I know that, of course you have it. You're talking about since the 1500s, African presence has been in that land. 1400s, really. You know what I'm trying to say? You feel me? So anyway, with that and with that understanding, without that knowledge, with that knowledge, and you get like just this history of that, you think I'm not going to be jumping out of my seat for another example of what the diaspora has brought us, right? And laughing at all the people who are challenged by the reality of some of their ancestors, little raggedy ancestors, or what some of their raggedy ancestors were perfectly okay with. Or the fact that just even now, you're okay with it. You're okay with that knowledge and history to the point you can't sit and enjoy this culture, these people. It was beautiful. I absolutely loved it. I loved it. I'm there's others I will ignore the conspiracy theories are there. Let them be. Let them I loved every moment of it. I love the representation. I love the colors. I just loved it all. I loved it all. And just like last year when Kendrick hit, that feeling that I had, it feels the same. There's certain times in your life where you feel great, like I remember like and I'm not saying this was the greatest president in the world, but honestly, we can look, the more we look back in time, the more time we have, we're starting to see something. I think we all see it. We're like, okay, things are starting to come together. And so when you look back at like when Obama became president, that feeling, I don't know if you guys remember what you felt like, but when you walked out the next morning, knowing this man is president, there was a feeling that you had, especially if you're Black. It was just like, okay. There was just a feeling. I can't even explain that feeling because it wasn't just pride. It was more than pride. It was like, okay. Well, those are the feelings that I get when I see something like a Benito Bowl or when I see like a Kendrick. There's this feeling that you have, or even when what's her name? Even Kamala, when she became the vice president. There's just a feeling that you get of understanding, even if you don't like all the details of it, even if you don't like everything, you realize that still there's something in it. And no, you can't like fully immerse yourself in it. You can't let your head get completely caught up in all of it because there's so much else going on behind the scenes and all of that. You have to have some level of discernment of understanding that, but you can still enjoy that feeling. You can still enjoy it, and so I enjoyed the feeling. um, I'm I'm very much one of those people who have read all the stories about the lizard people, and I mean all of it. Every conspiracy, all the conspiracy stuff, I've read it all. I mean, I have my own theories and everything about a lot of this stuff. But I also recognize that me personally in this world, in the world that I am living in, the world that I have control over, I'm living the best week ever. And so therefore, I allow myself to enjoy these feelings. And I allow myself to know what they are, to name them and enjoy them and grow in them. And so this is just an example of what I mean by that. Um, so yeah. Whew, the sun did shine brighter for a year or two. It did. It did. It just felt different. Yeah. So you hold on. You didn't see the shows? Let me look at these comments now because I'm done. This was the best week ever. It is. So now let me see if I can look at these comments and remember and make connections to what y'all were saying because I was locked in. Totally gotta enjoy the feeling when it arises. Yes. But don't be surprised by the surprises. Bars. Bars. That's dope, Larisha. Did you do that on purpose? Did you do that on purpose? Because it doesn't sound the same in French. That bars right there. Let's see what else we have. Let's see. The sun did shine brighter. Ooh, who wrote to you? Who wrote to you personally? I didn't see. Did you see? Yes, you got. I can't believe you didn't see the shows. I cannot believe you didn't see the shows. Oh yes, Trail of Tears. Yeah, we're talking about. I mean, just the horrible stuff that's happened here. We have to be aware of the history. Oh yeah, we're all over. We are all over. Black people are everywhere. If you want to know, let's see. Marisha, you come on saying Christina Aguilera and stuff like Honestly, I didn't know who it was either at first. So, like, when I first saw her, I was like, "Who is that?" It took me a while, and then even, like, the music, I was like, "Okay, that's Lady Gaga," and I actually said it, I think I remember me saying, "Oh, that's Lady Gaga, that's Lady Gaga," and then once I figured out what it was, and I went back to salsa. I was like, "Cool, cool, cool." I found out later, of course, that it was, that was one of his favorite pop stars, which I get it. Like, if you think about someone who kind of like switched things up, artistic, a lot of what Bad Bunny's been about in his throughout his career. Yeah, I think what I liked about this show was the conversations that came from it too, because like, the more if you knew anything about Bad Bunny, if you knew anything about just the way his career has gone and how he has used his fame, I just think what he did as that for the residency was one of the most powerful and impactful things an artist has done. Like, I don't what artist has done what artist has really, like, I mean, I know Beyonce did a few things for, like, Houston and some of her tour, but, and she's tried to use her money in good ways as well, but to be able to impact a whole island the way he did, I mean, come on. These other artists have, like, sat there and gave more money to Vegas, like, through Usher and all that. He sat there and he gave back to his land, to his people. He made it a thing. You come to see me. And to generate that much money, that much, help to the people, I just felt like, wow, wow. Like, you can fine, go ahead, sing your stupid songs, do all that. If you're telling me that and you doing all that and you building up all your fame, that you then can make an album that celebrates Puerto Rico and then brings the people there to enrich those people, that is a phenomenal use of fame. Every outfit that you wore, all the stuff that you've done, everything that you've done to bring attention to yourself, every opportunity that you said yes to, all of that amounts to you going and giving back to your people like that. I have a lot of respect for him. I really, really, really do. He became cuter in my eyes. I never really saw him before, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's a man right there. That's a man right there. That's a man." He wasn't a man before. He became a man. He became a man. He did. He did because of those things. So yeah, I'm going back a little bit here too. Oh, you have a oh, we are the same people. Yes, I have a poem I'm working on about our tethering cultures. Oh, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. I want to see that poem. I think it'd be beautiful. Because we already know she's got bars, y'all. If y'all can't tell, we already know that Risha's got bars. That was a good one. Remember, I have to read them in English because that didn't have the same vibe. Um, yes, I'm going through some more. Is anything else? I'll go back to the comments now. If I'm missing good comments, that sucks. I'm gonna have to look at them later when I rewatch the video. I love to actually reread the comments, watch the video, and just get the whole vibe of what the live was like. And so I'll have to look at them later. So I hope you guys left me some fun gems. I hope you guys left some funny stuff in there. I hope we made fun of what's his name? What happened to Robert Platinum? I hope we made fun of him a little bit. Mr. Robert Platinum, forever single. If that's Mr. Bologna Sandwiches, forever single, if that's the vibe. Now, if you're gonna release that bologna sandwich situation, I think you got a future. I hope, at least. Hmm. I can't get over that. That was funny. It did make me laugh. I mean, I gotta give him that. But he couldn't hang. Couldn't hang. Oh gosh. You know, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys experience a lot of love. I mean, I hope your Valentine's Day, if you celebrate or whatever you do, I hope you felt the love and I hope you carry it throughout. Love is supposed to happen every day, absolutely. But the cute stuff is cute, and it's funny because it wasn't so much about how much money anyone spent. It was the time and the quality time that I spent with people that was great. I mean, honestly, the African dance class is free. You know, it's a community class. I paid $20 a year to go into that to use to go to the facility, but that's it. I mean, a year. You heard that. It's a wonderful situation. So I had a day where it wasn't about the commercialism of things. It was about friendship. It was about, I would say, real love. And so and yeah, other than going to a restaurant, but I didn't go to a restaurant that day. We made our own pizzas, and that was the other thing. Oh, guys, I didn't tell you guys about this. I'm sorry, because I don't want us to walk away and not share this. We made our own pizzas, and I had gone to a restaurant that is kind of like a fancy restaurant. It's an Italian restaurant, and I paid almost because prices now for food is absolutely just ridiculous. But for a margarita pizza, which is my favorite pizza, I paid almost like around $20. I'm gonna say maybe $15 to $20 for a pizza. Okay, that is thin crust, which is really just like for you. Okay, you ain't sharing that. You're gonna be hungry, and so so when we made these pizzas, we made the crust nice and thin, and then we had the pizza sauce, and what I noticed that made a difference, because one thing about that restaurant I went to, I was like, "Man, the quality of the cheese was really, really good." And I remember it said burrata, and I was like, "Burrata, like, what is that?" And I know I saw it in Trader Joe's before, so when I went to Trader Joe's, I saw it, so that's what I purchased. And so I got it, I sliced it up, I put it on my cheese, I put it on my pizza. I forgot. I don't know where that fits. Something new. I mean, was it something beautiful? It was one of those, y'all. Mix it together. It was new and beautiful. And I made the best pizza I've ever made. Juanita's very smart. She freezes basil. So like when you get basil and it goes bad, she just freezes it, which I'm going to do next. So I always have it on hand. So I put the basil on there. I season my pizza a little bit, a little garlic powder, not a lot, a little Italian season, a little red pepper flakes, because I like that cooked in. I don't want to put it on afterwards. I want it cooked in. Put that pizza in there. When I tell you, mm, 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 so good. So, 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 so good. Woo. Mm, I'm telling you. And you add what you want. Like it would have been good with mushrooms, but just if you make that just the base of your pizza and you do whatever you want. You like meat, you do whatever. I'm a simple margarita girl. But that base right there, mm, that was yesterday. I mean, that right there. I mean, to think that I had a magical piece like that and then everything else I told you, yeah, best week ever. I mean, we already knew it. I already said it. I claimed it before it started. It was the best week ever. Jalapenos, exactly. You put anything you want. Foodgasm, orgasme culinaire. I love that. Je l'entends bien. Oh yeah, the magic. Absolutely, everyone. It is time for me to skedaddle. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I gotta tell you this one more thing. I'm telling you this was the best week ever. When I tell you this was the best week ever, I'm trying to tell you what. There was one more thing. One more thing before skedaddle triggered it for me. So I found this video, and I forget what her name is, but Jasmine is one of her. It's in the name on Instagram, and she had this skedaddling workout. It was the funniest thing where she's like moving her feet really fast and like moving to music, and and I did it. And when I kept on doing it with her, and it was just the funniest thing to do. So if y'all find it, look for like Jasmine. Her name is Jasmine and Skedaddle. If you put those two things together, you should be able to find her on Instagram. I just forget the her full name, but it was the silliest video ever. And I did it several times. So just so you know, if you find it, just know that I can do it with ease. With ease. I was skedaddling. And it was just so much fun. So look it up. It was so much. It was a good time. She's a funny person too. She makes a lot of like just fun, silly videos on Instagram. Um, like my favorite kind of people who are like, I'm just gonna just do whatever. I love those kind of videos. I don't have the I'm so busy doing other stuff. I don't have the time to sit down and do videos like that all the time. I just don't. So I love when other people do it. And yeah, there we go. But she was skedaddling, and I was skedaddling with her, going really fast. It was so much fun. But also, there's people who are like, "Do you got a 30s version for this or a 40s version for this?" And I realize y'all need to exercise. All right, that's all I gotta say. Go, please stay active and exercise and keep your body in shape if you can. Now, I'm not talking about if you have an injury, take care of yourself. But if you can, take care of yourself. All right, you all. Let me know how your week was. I want to see in the comments later, especially those who have rewatched. If you stay with me to the end, it's because you my friend, and happy Valentine's Day. I said this to myself when I left, but I'm thankful for you all. I'm thankful for this community, Stray. I see Juanita today, Larisha, Cypher. Like, y'all are y'all are dope. You know it, but I'm glad that I decided. I'm glad that this is a space for us to come together and have this kind of fun. It's different, right? We're online, but I still feel like this is another one of my communities. I was talking about one of my communities, here, but you guys are also my community. And I think about you all. You are a part of the fabric of my life. I care about your life. I care about how you're doing. I care about your skills and your joys and all of that. And so thank you all for just being here. Uh, thank you for just being a part of my world. For some of us, we're talking about we're years and years in. I don't know if we got to a decade yet, but we are years in, and I don't take it for granted. I really don't. I didn't understand it, I will say, until I came back, but now I understand, and I just really appreciate you all, and I just hope that you have a beautiful day, beautiful week, and yeah, that's it. I didn't mean to get mushy, but it's we're in the Valentine's Day season, and I'm grateful for my life, and it means I'm grateful for you, and it means I'm grateful for this. It's just us right now. I don't know. Okay, I'm getting emotional. I gotta go. Hallelujah, hallelujah, magic, yo, and Vunia. And I will see you all next week.